Essential question is, why is it so important to recycle?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of initiatives to recycle here and outside, and also we've heard sometimes that some students at the school are reluctant to recycle and separate the trash. So we will show you here also through our presentation why is it really crucial for us to do this. We will show you first a video. It's done by what's called SARE, it's Southeastern Recycle from Florida. So it'll just give you an idea. Just keep in mind that unfortunately since the video is from the US, all data it's in US metric system, not the rest of the
US tons, not metric tons.
Yeah.
How much waste does an American produce every year? 1,500 pounds per person, 243 million tons if you put all that together. That's equal to the weight of 2.3 million Boeing 747 jets. A lot of it is recyclable. Things like paper, plastic bottles, aluminum cans, cardboard, tin cans, magazines, and newspapers. But most of it ends up in landfills. About 54% of all waste ends up in a landfill, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Another 12% goes into incineration plants and is turned into energy. And the remaining 34% goes through the recycling process. Paper and cardboard accounts for 28% of all waste. To make paper, trees need to be cut down. Lots of trees. Actually, about 4 billion trees per year around the world, and most of the paper is used in the U.S. Paper takes about 2 months to decompose in a landfill, and cardboard can take up to 5 years. When recycled, each ton of paper can save 17 trees, 380 gallons of oil, 3 cubic yards of landfill space, 4,000 kilowatts of energy, and 7,000 gallons of water. Of the more than 22 billion plastic bottles used each year, only 28% are recycled. That means that about 16 billion plastic bottles end up in landfills and oceans. Plastic is made mostly from oil and natural gas, and it's such a durable material that it will never biodegrade. It can remain buried in landfills or floating in the oceans for thousands of years. Plastic that ends up in the oceans kills over 1 million animals every year. Recycling 1 ton of plastic saves 7.4 cubic yards of landfill space and keeps it off the water systems. Aluminum cans can be recycled over and over without losing quality or wasting raw material. An aluminum can that is recycled can be back on the grocery shelf as a new can in as little as 60 days. Recycling 1 ton of aluminum cans saves enough energy to run your television for 300 days. So how do we benefit from recycling? Well, for one, it creates jobs. Recycling creates 6 to 10 times more jobs than incineration in landfills do. It also helps the environment by reducing the amount of resources we take from it. For your business or organization, it benefits the bottom line by reducing waste pickup costs and helping you meet statewide recycling goals. At Southeastern Recycling, we are committed to making recycling as easy as possible. With single-stream recycling technology, we can recover all your recyclables from one bin, so you don't have to throw away your recyclables in separate bins. So how do we recycle? Because so much paper is used in schools and businesses, there should always be a recycling bin in classrooms and office spaces, usually 1 bin per classroom and 1 per desk at offices. Any type of paper can be placed in these bins: magazines, newspapers, even cardboard. You can also place aluminum cans, tin cans, plastic bottles, and plastic containers in these bins. Larger bins should be available in public areas like hallways, kitchens, and auditoriums. It's important that you use them. At the end of the day, all the contents in the bins will be taken and unloaded into the supplied front-load container or compactor. We then take the recyclables to our sorting facility, where each material is separated and stacked. Finally, we ship all the material to recycling factories, where they will be recovered into brand new products. It's as simple as that. Whether you are at home, school, or your workplace, you can contribute to a healthier environment. It's easy. Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Okay, so that video gave us an idea, a global idea of why we should really recycle, why is it so important.
So recycling seems to be a problem in most developing countries. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce of Paraguay stated that in Paraguay, the recycling industry hasn't been properly organized, generating means to an indefinite number of independent workers.
Also, when we were investigating, we discovered that only 64% of all cities have some type of public cleaning service, and 36 have some type of sweeping service. That means that the people go out and they sweep on the street, which is pretty alarming, by the way.
Here's a map of districts in Paraguay that actually have a recycling program. You can see there are very few districts that have a recycling program that is state run.
This is a map of districts that have an outdoor dumpster. This means that whatever the trash, they just collect it and they just throw it somewhere else. And there's no recycling whatsoever.
And this last map is districts with a controlled landfill program. These landfills are outside, but they're controlled by the state, and they have certain people called rancheros that go around the landfill and pick up plastic, and then they take the plastic elsewhere and
To be
get
recycled.
recycled.
That's where they live upon. They live sometimes they live even on the landfills. We'll see more about that later. So this is a very important map we found. As you can see, we have different countries with different colors, and it shows the amount of carbon footprint they provide. So here we can see, for example, the more alarming ones are China and India, that they are coal-based countries. So they burn coal to get their energy, which they contribute to the environment 252 grams of CO2 per kilometer. On the other side, we discovered that Paraguay, along with Iceland, we contribute only 70 grams of CO2 per kilometer. But this is not because we have a huge recycling program as I saw before, it's actually because our main source of energy is a hydroelectric plant. So we share this hydroelectric plant, Itaipu, with Brazil, that, yeah, it's all our energy comes from this place and from Jaceretá, which is another hydroelectric plant that we share with Argentina.
Here's the same information that was shown in the map, just in bar graph, so it's easier to see.
So we also wanted to do an overview about how recycling works in the world. And we can see in the United Kingdom, out of all the trash they have, 60% could be recycled. That means that 60% could be paper, plastic, metal, anything. But however, only 17% is actually being recycled. On the other hand, in Switzerland, we can see that 80% of their plastic bottles are being recycled. And also, the state runs a paper collection every month.
And you can see, as in the picture in the background, is a ton of plastic. It's an impressive image of a ton of plastic that's not being recycled and it's just thrown away. Also, the US recycles 28% of its waste. Its recycling program has doubled in the past 15 years. Greece, 1/5 of the entire waste produced by this country is plastic, but only 1% is actually recycled.
Okay, here we're going to show you another video. We'll show you a perspective about the world and about Paraguay. Now you know, for example, that there is barely a state-run recycling program in Paraguay. However, we've found another organizations that they do recycling in a different way.
Mi nombre es Álvaro Río Codado, tengo 13 años y toco el violín.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Eddie, tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
No es un lugar para tener un violín. De hecho, un violín cuesta más que su casa.
pues acá mismo compramos colador abierto. Y de ese empezamos los instrumentos reciclados.
La familia que acá vive recicla todo lo que hay en la basura y se vende. No pensaba antes que yo voy a hacer esa instrumento. Y me siento demasiado feliz cuando estoy viendo a un niño que está tocando un violín reciclado.
Cuando ya escuché el sonido del violín diciendo cómo me toca en el estómago, así como una sensación, no sé muy bien explicar.
Bueno, la orquesta de instrumentos reciclados es una orquesta que toca instrumentos hechos con la basura.
Y mi video sería, sin la música, estaría texto de
La gente se da cuenta que no tenemos que tirar la basura muy fácilmente. No tenemos que desechar a las personas muy fácilmente.
There.
So here are some pictures. This orchestra is currently going around the world and performing
On a world tour.
on a world tour, and they show that you can do so much from just so little.
Yeah, they played with a lot of famous people, like they just went to the States and they played, for example, with Megadeth. It's amazing, yeah, I know. And actually the Megadeth guitarist, bassist, he came over to Paraguay in disguise. And he went to the people of Cateura because he wanted to make them. This is actually, the video you just saw is teaser trailer of a documentary that was just finished being filmed just a couple weeks ago, and we don't know yet when it's gonna be out. But it's really interesting. This video had over 1.3 million views on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna start talking right now about our project, what we did. We decided, since in our school there was no recycling program whatsoever, so all the trash was being thrown in Cateura, in the place you just saw. So we had an alliance, an agreement with this company called Cartones Yaguarete. We're going to tell you more about them also.
So what is Cartones Yaguarete? They are a cardboard manufacturing company, but everything they make is 100% recycled. So they don't make anything from scratch. Everything comes from recycled papers that they buy off companies, schools, and stuff like that.
Yes. This is a picture when we went there. So basically, since we tell you that they don't make paper or cardboard from scratch, they have to buy cardboard and paper from any place they can, because that's what they have to use. They receive approximately 200 tons of paper and cardboard a day, and they use, just for you to have an idea, 20,000 liters of water per ton. But to point out, this is actually half of what is used when you make paper from scratch. And also they have a water-purifying system, so that when they take the water from the river, they use the water and they purify it. We're going to show you something about that later. And they put the water back to the river even cleaner from what they got.
So recycling at ASA, now we're going to talk about how we implemented recycling at our school and what the steps and challenges and how we organize ourselves to get the school to recycle and work with Cartones Yaguarete.
Is this picture you see right here? There's a picture of our container where we take all our paper. Because we started, why not making our own logo? We just made it with paper, thought it was fun, and we were just not breaking any laws. That's our finished logo. So for launch dates, after months of preparation, we decided to, because we started this project in the idea on February, but we thought it was going to be better to launch the project right at the beginning of school year. So we got our agreement with Cartones Yaguarete. So what they have a program with social responsibility or responsabilidad social, and they actually donated more than 60 recycled boxes, the way you can see right there. So they were put all over school and administrative offices. And here you can see we put it in high school, in middle school, and elementary.
Here are some pictures of assembling the boxes and taking the boxes and putting them in classrooms, like all the pre-launch.
There it is. So for paper pickup, of course, since the project was 100% student-driven, we also had to make sure that we were the responsible for picking up paper. So we knew that middle school and elementary had their own recycling little plan. So we decided to go talk to them, and we actually made a huge group all together. So every Monday, all 12 of us, our high school members, pick up the paper from all high school classes and administrative offices.
In the middle school has a recycle club, and they pick up the paper every Thursday. And elementary student council does the same every Friday.
So taking it to Cartones Yabarete, in our agreement they have stated that for every ton we collect, then they're going to go and pick it up. But we wanted to take it to the Cartones Yabarete headquarters, so we would not just have the experience, but we also go and have a peek and look how the place is. So we did, in total, 2 trips to Cartones Yabarete. Here you can see some pictures of it.
So it was a lot of cardboard.
Yes, that's last week. So our impact in the environment. In total, we collected in 2 months 1,050 kilos of paper and cardboard. I just want to point out that 630 kilos were exclusively the paper we collected, and the other 520 kilos were archives, old archives that were taken for their destruction. So in total, we saved 21,000 liters of water. By recycling that amount of paper, we prevented this amount of water to be polluted.
How's the calculus made?
How the what?
How is the math done?
The math? The people from Cartones Yabarete give us an estimate. So like in the video you saw before, they say that, for example, for every ton you save, for every ton you recycle, it's
17
trees, between 14 and 16 trees, depending on quality of paper.
and the size of the tree.
Yeah, and it's 20,000 liters of water per ton.
We also saved 2.1 meters cubed of landfill space that would have been used to occupy the paper if it would have been taken to a landfill.
Also, 945 kilograms of CO2. We prevented that amount of CO2 to be in the atmosphere right now.
We also saved 15 trees.
Okay, and with this information, we made our projection for the year. So if we keep recycling this year, we're going to save by June 2014 126,000 liters of water from being polluted.
Also 5,670 kilograms of CO2 that would not be
In the atmosphere.
in the atmosphere.
12.6 meters cubed of landfill space.
And a total of 90 trees.
As for sustainability, because we are both seniors, so we want to make sure that when we graduate, this project will continue on. So, as you can see in the pictures that just passed, we made sure for example, elementary teachers, that they will continue with their student council recycling, gathering the paper and taking it to the containers. Same thing with middle school, where they have their recycle club. They have had that for a long time, and they will continue doing that. So anyone who is there, along with their sponsor, they will continue to do this for paper. Now, for high school, we do have some people that are interested in continuing with the project, and we're still recruiting also people for high school.
We also had a lot of challenges throughout the project. For starters, getting the school to sign a contract and alliance with Cartones Yabarete and getting all the legal parts of that sorted out. Also, taking, like, our paper-only container actually had remote controls, cables, plastic, and so like the fact that we had to go in and sort out what was already supposed to be sorted out took more time, and that's a challenge that we have to face. And we're going to fix that by trying to teach the school exactly what can be recycled and what should be taken there and what shouldn't.
Okay, so before we finish, we're going to split in 2 groups. So we're going to show you some stuff we have on the tables. So there, can you move right there so you can make a circle. Each of us will go to each group, we'll show you one thing, and then we'll